Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening. This is the latest episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast where we help you build a thriving business with me, Anna Angelova, a business coach and consultant, and Joris Minasfan. Good morning, Joris.
Good morning, Anna. How are you? Happy
I
Saturday.
am I am doing well. Yeah, it's Saturday as we are recording today's episode, and a little bit late. It's after 11 o'clock here in the Toronto area. And we had quite a week, didn't we? Like it was so amazing. And if you missed the episodes this week, it was really about technology. And as you know, people processes technology. Technology might be the last component of building a thriving business, but nowadays it's actually a very key one. And Joris, we started the meeting, not meeting. We started the week on Monday talking about digital readiness, right? Like we focused on this topic. So, want to share some of the key takeaways from this. And if you haven't listened to any of the episodes, like this is why we're summarizing actually today, so you can see which one actually applies to your business, which one is beneficial for you, and go and listen to it. So Monday was what, May 5th? Yeah, it was May 5th, and we started with digital readiness.
Yeah, we talked about culture, understanding your people's culture and willingness to accept technology. We talked about processes. We said don't jump to pick up a piece of technology to fit into your culture, but vice versa. We talked about making sure that your processes are ready for automation, because if you don't, then digitization of those processes will hurt and exacerbate your problems. We mentioned that top-down doesn't work. Get your people involved. Make sure they're ready. They're involved in the selection. Um, yeah, I think it's more of a start with people first, and then technology comes last. Make sure your people are aligned, make sure your processes are ready, and then go seek a piece of technology to automate or emphasize add efficiencies.
Mm. Yeah, so and it was like all of the episodes actually this week. Like they were 25 minutes, even approaching 30. I think even some of them went over a half an hour, and we discussed a lot. We discussed a lot. So if you are at a place where you know that there are areas where you can improve by digitizing, by turning some of your manual paper processes into digital processes. Digital readiness is the episode for you, so I highly recommend you go listen to it. And Jores shared so much information in terms of infrastructure, data insights, and all these things. So highly recommend for you to go and listen to it. It was really like a great conversation, like everyone this week. And Tuesday, we continued the conversation on automation, right?
Mhm.
Strategies that save you time and boost your growth. And with this one, with the process automation, uh, we talked what it really is, right? Like we discussed um, that automation, and this is something that is a key theme, and we repeated it in a few of the episodes this week, that automation, digitalization, all these kind of things, they're not about replacing people, they're about empowering your people.
Augmenting your people, yeah, and your
Yeah,
process.
yeah,
Yeah, they free the time for your people to do better things, more creative things, right? We give the mundane to the machines and computers to do, and we do the more creative stuff.
absolutely, absolutely. And on Tuesday, we discussed some of the key areas where you might explore automation, like with communicating with your customer, sales and marketing, even finances, admin work, operations, all these things. So again, if this is something that is interesting for you and your business is at a stage where you can benefit from this,
Mhm.
listen to the episode. So it's the one from May 6th. when we talked about automation and even how to choose the right tool without getting overwhelmed.
One word of caution that we closed the session with was: do not replace your human touch with automation.
Oh,
it's not there to, like, large corporations have done it. A lot of them are now pulling back. Basically, the human touch will become your. It already has, because they push automation for so long. It will become your advantage. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Great point, and a key takeaway from this week, absolutely. And then Wednesday was all about data. Our one of our favorite domains, right? Data and making smarter decisions with data.
Yeah. Then we talked about the DSS. All these AI used to be called DSS, decision support systems. What actually, which is true, that's what data is. The right data at the right time supports you to make the right decision to achieve your goals, whether it is growth, revenue, cost reduction, efficiencies, whatever it is. But you need the right data at the right time. And one of the and we talked about that data is not exclusive to large corporations that have a lot of data. Even small businesses, it's if you know what to get and how to get those insights out of the data, the amount of data doesn't matter. It matters if you're doing large models, but we're not talking about those. That's all a different fallacy that's going to die down in about a year or so. Probably by 2026, it will die down. But it's digitize yourself. The data that you have on papers and invoices and prints that are piled up in your storage rooms that are being chewed up by mice, that's gold. You're really, really throwing away gold if you're not tapping into your data, getting insights out of it.
And I want to emphasize on the word insights. So it's not data for the sake of data. And also, again, it's not automation for the sake of automation. It's not being digital for the sake of being digital, right? So when it comes to data, it's about the insights you get out of it. And that's why you don't need or want to have like 50 metrics you're measuring, right? And keeping track of, because like you get lost in the weeds. You need a few key indicators that give you the picture and the insight. Like what is the data actually telling you? What is the story there, right? So if you missed this episode, highly recommend you go listen to it. So it's the one from May 7th, Wednesday. Highly recommend listen to it. And then Thursday is probably an interesting episode for you as well, because it might be also an interesting episode, because we promised, I think it was like back in April, we mentioned that we will share some use cases for using quote unquote AI, or those large language models, LLMs. And this is what we did on Thursday. We focused on so-called AI solutions and practical use cases for growth. And we covered quite a few of them, actually, right?
Yeah, we did. We talked about, I'm trying to remember.
So some of the
which parts did we talk about?
Almost everything, right? Actually, we talked about almost everything. Support, marketing campaigns, sales forecasting, supply chain. Like remember with the supply chain and predictive maintenance, like for manufacturing, right?
Yes, we focused on manufacturing. Yes, we talked about knowing when your machine is about to break down rather than wait until it breaks down. Knowing, you can optimize your freight routes, you can optimize your operations, you can increase the quality of the goods that you're manufacturing if you're a manufacturer. Yeah, we talked about a lot of, you can also use it in marketing as well, right?
Yeah, content creation.
Demand planning, content creation, forecasting and demand planning. You can use AI, well, not AI, but the ChatGPT engine. But I think that something that is noteworthy that to add, and thanks to you, I watched the Darren Hardy PMC.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You told me about this, the 40 40 30 40 or 30 40 30. that is 30% you, 40% the engine, and 30% yourself?
Yeah, so exactly,
Yeah.
like, and this is everyone has been saying this since AI came on, right? Like, and it still applies. It still applies that those LLM tools like ChatGPT, they're like an assistant, right? Like a relatively good assistant. It's like an intern, and when you get an intern to help you with something, you verify, you validate what they're saying, right? Like you don't just trust them that they'll do the great perfect work. And uh, this is how it works, right, with those LLMs, and the person is key. And that's why we've been saying that automation, all these different tools and digital solutions, they are ultimately, it's to empower people. So you still need to have great people. You still need to have people who know how to use the tool, who also know the domain, whether it's marketing, whether it's sales, whether it's HR, like whatever it is, right? Finances, who know how to use these tools. So the person knows how to use the tool, what to ask of the tool, and then the tool does its job, right? Like the app solution, ChatGPT does it work, and then you still have the person to look at it, to validate, to make sure. And this is especially true for LLMs because, again, these are large language models that work. The core of the model is what's the most likely next word that will come here, and then that's why one of the problems, I haven't tested it, but one of the problems is when you ask ChatGPT how many R's are there in strawberry, in the word strawberry, it says 2 because on average there are 2 R's. It doesn't really count the R's. So it's actually, again, it predicts what's the most likely next word. It's not really reasoning and thinking. And also, Jores, you were saying that another part of feature, right, is that they don't come back, these models don't come back and say, I don't have an answer for this. They just generate an answer, again, based on what's, and we call this hallucination. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. One of the key takeaways is, yes, there are a lot of areas where these new capabilities, these new tools, so-called AI, these new automations can be utilized to notice patterns, anomalies, and things like this, and to help with creation, content creation. But again, a very great point that it's the person is really key. Like you don't copy paste and that's it. Especially when it comes to content creation, you don't copy paste whatever is in the tool speed and like ChatGPT speeds and that's it. No, you sit down and you refine it. You make sure it makes sense. You make sure it aligns with what you're doing. So a really good point, and it was something that everyone, I remember when ChatGPT came on, like everyone started talking about it, right? And not just Darren Hardy, who we've been following, and we've taken so many of his programs. At that time, I think I was part of the ACES coaching program as well, and Danini, he also talked about AI and how exactly like how it's like an and AI, I mean ChatGPT, right? How it's like a really good admin support kind of thing you have. Another person that can do these kind of things, can help with research, ideation, and these kind of things. But you still need to have the person involved. And everyone, whoever it talks about, this is the recommendation. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the it's what you package and feed into. You have to be careful what you package and feed into this engine. Then the engine does 40% of the work very quickly, comes back to you, and then you take the result. Then you spend your time in analyzing and verifying. So it's a they go hand in hand. It's not, they will never replace humans.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I highly recommend. We are all interested in the new technology and especially the power of the so-called AI solutions. So highly recommend for you to listen to the episode from Thursday, which was May 8th. And this one, if you haven't listened to it, if you have listened, go listen to it again, right? Like you always hear something different when you listen to something for a second, third, fourth time even, right? It's there for you. So go and listen to this one. And the last episode we had was yesterday, actually, Friday, where we covered another important topic. So, when we talk about any kind of tool, any kind of automation, any kind of software, again, it's people, processes, technology. People come before technology. So, yesterday we talked about adoption.
Mhm. And why it's hard and why it's not widespread. And we gave a few examples. As humans, we don't want to be told what to do. There is the fear of being replaced and pure laziness, which are all ingrained in our brains, in the design of our for survival in our psyche, and this is why we don't want to try new things. We really don't welcome it with open arms. And this is what causes a lot of companies where they go top down, and the CIO comes and says, "No, this is the application. We're going to use this." And within 6 months, they have replaced it, and the CIO is out the door. Uh, this thing doesn't work, the top down, especially with humans. Get your team involved, get them, even in the selection, get them to give their opinions about what tool and how. And one of the things that we mentioned about that works very well in my experience is workshops. Do workshops, bring the tool, try it, let everybody understand bring the experts, let them explain what the features are, how they help, and then part of that workshop is get people to try it hands on. Maybe they will like it, and they'll pick it up. I mean, it's human nature, right? If you align your team with the technology, that will increase the chances of your adoption by tenfold.
Absolutely, and especially when it comes to a small business, right? Where even mid-sized business, like, even if you have like 30, 50 people in your business, like it's a relatively small team. So uh, you can easily engage everyone who needs to be engaged, like the people who will be using these too, from the start, from the beginning. So you get that buy-in. And absolutely, Joris, like that, so important to understand that it's human nature. It happens absolutely everywhere. Change, like yes, we all want to live the life after the change, but we don't want to go through the change itself. And it's human nature, like you said, the fear, laziness, and it's all about survival, right? Like we discussed this yesterday, and if you missed the episode, again, highly recommend go and listen to this, especially if you are going or about to go through any kind of change, and not just technology adoption. Actually, I find the discussion we had can be useful for any kind of change, even if you're changing a process, right? Because again, people come first. If even if you're not changing any kind of tool, you're not introducing new technology. Even if you're changing up the process, if you're changing your org chart or something like this, listen to the episode. It has a lot of golden nuggets that will help you in your team to get the buy-in that you need.
And the adoption of technology.
Yeah. And this was from yesterday, which was what, May 9th? Yeah, it was May 9th. So if you haven't listened to this one, go and listen to it. The weekend is here. You hopefully have some time to spare for your personal development, because we never outgrow our businesses. Sorry, but our business is the other way around. We don't. Our business doesn't outgrow us, right? It can just grow as big as we grow, right? And when I say big, I mean like when you are 100, like a six-figure owner, like with mindset of a six-figure owner, this is how big your business will be. When you have the mindset of a seven-figure, people who run seven-figure businesses have different mindset, different way of doing things, of thinking, of being than people who have six-figure businesses. and they're completely different for people who have 8-figure or even 9-figure businesses, right? Like a lot of things are so different. And so that's why it's really important. And we really appreciate you actually being part of this community and coming here every day and listening to the insights and advice we have and we are sharing. Because again, we truly believe in the power that we business owners have, small business owners, mid-sized business owners, that we are so important in the community, in the economy. And when we thrive, our teams thrive, our families thrive, our community thrives, and even our countries, right? Even if your business is like a local store in a small town, you still contribute to the country, to and even to the global economy. So again, we really appreciate you being part of our community and being here, showing up for yourself, because this is who you do this for, showing up for yourself, for your team, for your business, for your family. And if you are not subscribed yet, highly recommend subscribing. And I know we say this almost every time, and if there is any topic that you'd love for us to talk about, shoot us a message. Shoot us a message. Yeah, like comment or any topic that's related to building a thriving business, of course, right? Let us know, and we'll include it in one of the future episodes. And as I mentioned yesterday, I think, if you have not subscribed to our newsletter, highly recommend. I'll add the link in the notes so you can get there and join our newsletter. It's bi-weekly, so we're not spamming you every single day or every single week. It's every other week. And we share quite a lot of value and insights in there as well. And highly recommend you joining this.
Very well put. Very nice wrap for the very interesting week. And tomorrow we'll introduce a new week, new set of topics. It's a mystery for tomorrow, and tune in tomorrow to get a glimpse of what's coming for next week.
What's coming for next week? Absolutely, yes. Yeah, tune in so we can kick off a new week together. And for now, enjoy your Saturday wherever you are, and disconnect a little bit. And we'll see you tomorrow. Again, we're live on our Plandor channel every day. On the weekend, it's a little bit later through the day, like 10 a.m. is usually Eastern time. Monday to Friday, we are live on Plandor if you want to catch us at 7 a.m. So we'd love to see you there as well. But for now, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Enjoy your weekend.